Hey, kia ora, Helen Brahms here, coming to you live from Mesa in Arizona. My apologies for being on so late this morning. It's been a busy morning already. We've had been out for a walk. It's been raining. Um, what else have we done today? Oh, we've been on been on training calls. We've been on meetings. It has been a busy, busy morning. Um, so here I am now. It is Fun Friday. Hope you're having a super fantastic, sparkling start to your Fun Friday. Let's see. It is. Um, yes, I have exciting news too. I'm going to save that till this evening though. So you're going to have to tune in this evening to see what the exciting news is. But yes, very exciting news. But today is Fun Friday, and what we started doing last week is pulling something out of the fun tin. Shake it up a little bit. Zeffy's like, what you doing? Is that food? Is it for me? Can I look? Can I? You'll have to come over here and sniff it out, young lady. Come on. Come on. You going to come over here? Nope. So last week's one was to read a novel. And so I'm still in the process of reading Tom Sawyer for the book club. So if you would like to join our book club, I'm going to put the link in the description. And actually, I'm going to put that one back in. Shake it up again. I don't even know what was on that one. I don't know why I didn't keep it out. So our book club is called Love to Read Classics. And we are currently reading Tom Sawyer. We're going to be meeting on February the 6th to talk about the book of Tom Sawyer because I have never read Tom Sawyer before. And I just thought it'd be a good book to start. But the cool part about Love to Read Classics is that what we are doing with the books is we are putting a genealogy spin on it. So, for example, one of the things I put in this past week, was it last week? This past week, I think it was, is that Samuel L. Clemens, who is known as Mark Twain, was actually of English, Cornish, and Irish Scottish descent. I happen to be English, Cornish, Irish, Scottish, a little bit of Welsh, a little bit of Norwegian, and a little bit of Swede in there as well. So there was that commonality in there. So it's looking at that. This was his ancestry makeup. What's your ancestry makeup? Another one we put in there is that he came in on Halley's Comet and went out on Halley's Comet. Do you have anybody in your tree that came in on Halley's Comet or went out on Halley's Comet? So we're tying different facts from the author's life into learning stuff about our own family tree, as well as about the time period that he wrote the book in. And the reason we're doing the classics is that because when we do the classics, most of the authors are writing about things that they knew about at that time. So we've got Tom Sawyer. It's based on the town, based in the town that Mark Twain grew up in when he was a boy, and you can actually see his little boyhood home and everything else. They've got a fence there. You can pay to paint the fence. But it's actually a really cool story. I'm enjoying reading Tom Sawyer, um, and it's interesting because he wrote this book 30 to 40 years after the story took place. So I read somewhere that he wrote the book in like the 1880s. I think he said it was. Or jeepers, I'm testing my memory. He wrote it in the late 1800s, but he based it on his childhood, which was, of course, he was born in 1835. So he based it on his childhood a few years later, around the 1840s. So what we are reading in the book is learning about the 1840s and the small town in Mississippi. He was on the Mississippi River. The little town was on the Mississippi River. So learning about life on the Mississippi River through the eyes of a child that took place in 1840. And of course, this is an area he knows. He knows the town. The town in the book has a different name to the actual town he grew up in. But they mention, but when you go back and you read about fun facts about Mark Twain, about Tom Sawyer, and that the town that he grew up in is the one that he used as his fictional town within his book. So we can learn about what life was like back then. And then we can go back to our own family tree. Did we have people who were in that area around that time? Did we have people who grew? Did we have families in our tree who grew up along the Mississippi River? What was their life like? What sort of occupations did they have? So you can find out all of this through going through census reports. You can go through land deeds. What property did they own at that time? There's lots of different, even newspapers at that time as well can give you stories on your ancestors if they happen to do something that made the news. And there's quite some surprising stories that will come up um, when you go and read newspaper articles. And there was one that came up, and I sent a note to my parents going, "Did you know about this?" They're sort of like, "Yes, we don't talk about that, and this is why." And I'm like, "I totally understand." And I said, "And that will be our secret. It will not be going anywhere where it can be in my tree that can be read, even though it's there in the newspaper. So if somebody happens to find that story, then they can find it out that way. But it's not something. Well, my tree is private anyway, and I have very very limited access to those that do get to share it. So anyway, so it can be fun. So we're tying historical novels to family tree research, and through that, teaching people how they can find information out about their family tree, looking at their family tree. Oh, did I have anybody that grew up in Mississippi? Nope, we're not from the South. We're from England. Well, hang on, Mark Twain has got that English descent, So you start looking into things like that. So it makes it fun. And so if you would like to join us, just go to the link that I will put into the description um, after I finish this. So, what is our fun thing that I've just pulled out of the tin? Scavenger hunt. So this is going to be interesting. Me by myself. I have a scavenger hunt. So that's going to be my fun thing this week is to go on a scavenger hunt. And what I am going to do is I decided last week that what I need to do is I need to write on here the dates. So we'll put down 22nd of January, 2021. So if I happen to pull it out again in the next few weeks, I know that I've already done that one. So I'm writing a scavenger hunt in my notebook. So now I have to organize a scavenger hunt for one. Maybe I'll go on a scavenger hunt in the family tree. That could be fun. Yes. So maybe I'll do something like that. Because I'm also, what else am I doing? Totally forgot what I was going to say. So I'll put that one back in there for next week. You can tell I'm not very good with rhythm with a shaking thing that doesn't shake. But there's about 50 to 60 different activities in here. So, and we're going to be pulling out one a week. So if we pull out another one that we've already pulled out this year, later in the year, then it goes back and then we pull out one that doesn't have a date written on it. But I still have to go through there and find the one that says read a novel. So maybe as a scavenger hunt is I will go through my list, I'll pull out all the little bits of paper in there, find out what the activities are, and my scavenger hunt will be to go online and find something that I'm going to need to do that activity and put it on a list. So when times come to do that activity, I don't have to go find the resources for it. I already have that information available. So I think that's what my scavenger hunt is going to be this week. I'm going to have fun going through this tin. Like I'll pull out every piece of paper that's in here, and I will go find the resources online and make a document. And so by the time I have finished that, list, then whenever I pull one out of this tin, I will be able to go to that particular one and on the list, and there's my resource for it. So that's going to be my scavenger hunt this week, is matching up the resources with all the stuff in the tin and making a list so it's ready when I need to go do that. So that's it from me for today. For now, we'll be back later on this afternoon. So all go have a super fantastic, sparkling, fun Friday. What fun things are you going to be doing today? Are you going to organize your own scavenger hunt? Are you going to go blow some bubbles? Are you going to get some Play-Doh? Did I tell you it comes in sparkles now? I discovered Play-Doh comes in sparkles. Oh, so I'm going to have to so I've got that resource already listed. So when I pull the Play-Doh one out of here, I can go order my sparkly Play-Doh. And yes, I will let you guys see it too, and I don't know, sit here and play with it while I'm doing a Facebook Live or something. I don't know. But yeah, so there's lots of fun activities in here. So, but anyway, have a super fantastic sparkling Friday. Oh, did you guys read a novel last week? Don't forget, come join our book club. I'm going to put the link into the description here so you guys will be able to come join us. It's going to be so much fun. On February 6th, we are doing our very first Facebook Live, and we're going to be talking about the adventures of Tom Sawyer. I did actually have to go get a physical copy because I am bookmarking this and highlighting things in here like crazy. And like my favorite one so far is he had discovered a great law of human action without knowing it. And this is a really good business practice one too. So this is just after he had he had to go. His chore that day was to go whitewash the fence, and he actually managed to He actually managed to get other people to paint it for him and to pay him for the privilege of painting the fence. And so in here it has, he had discovered a great law of human action without knowing it, namely, that in order to make a man or a boy covet a thing, it is only necessary to make the thing difficult to attain. I love that. But when you think about business with some commercials and stuff that are out there, look at the commercials. Are they trying to make it a product that it is hard to attain, or they're making it a product that you have to have? So that's this book was written in the 1880s, 18 whatever it was. It doesn't say the year that it was first published. Oh, 1876 is when it was first written. The book was first published in 1876. So, that was something that was put into a book in 1876, and it's still true today. And that's what I love about books like Think and Grow Rich, um, the Master Key of, Master Key of Success, I think it is. How to Win Friends and Influence People, The Magic of Thinking Big, all of those sorts of books, The Richest Man in Babylon. You go read those books. These are books that came out in the 1930s, the 1940s, the 1950s, and the information in there is still relevant today. Isn't that interesting how business practices from back then are still relevant today, even with all the technology? The way that we think about business, the way that the laws of attraction, that sort of stuff. All of that stuff is and you see all these new books coming out all the time. If you read those books, it's basically regurgitating stuff that was written about in the 1900s, in the 1800s, in the 1700s. It's just been refreshed over the years because of the type of audience it's going to be created for. So a lot of stuff that is coming out today, if you really look at it, their basis is on some of those older books and some of the philosophies and stuff that have been around for centuries. Making somebody feel special. It's a great way to, if you want a client for life, make them feel cherished, make them feel special. That's want to come back. Develop customer loyalty. Bring them back. Make them feel special. Make them feel like that you're the only customer, that you'll bend over backwards and sideways and around about to do anything for them, to give them the experience that they want based on what your business is. So, so go out there, have fun with it today, have a great time, and just remember, it's Fun Friday, so go have fun. Go have fun. Go have fun. And we'll catch you guys later. Heck on out. I'll have a super fantastic, sparkling, fun day, and we'll catch you later. I gotta go answer my phone.